If you're a listener of the pod, you know that Heather and I are booked and busy. We're always looking for ways to make our life easier and to boost our energy and focus, which is why we've got a company for you to check out called Strong Coffee Company. Their instant coffee and latte options not only provide a quick route to your delicious morning coffee, their blends are also infused with 15 grams of grass-fed protein, 5 grams of MCTs, 250 milligrams of adaptogens such as ashwagandha and theanine. If you're like, what the heck does all that mean? It means you'll be getting much better sleep, more mental clarity, and no jitters or crashes. Better sleep means more productivity and more energy to do things you love, like read and listen to this podcast. So if you're committed to being your best, healthiest self without giving up your daily cup of coffee, check out Strong Coffee Company. We've got an exclusive discount for you only for listeners of our show. Head to strongcoffeecompany.com and use promo code CAFPOD to get 20% off any product. This is the highest discount Strong Coffee offers, so make sure to use this code ASAP and let us know what you think. Again, that's strongcoffeecompany.com and use promo code CAFPOD.
If you've been a long-time listener of the pod, you know Kelsey and I are all about pop culture and the entertainment industry. And if you happen to be looking for a one-place stop to shop for officially licensed merchandise, we've got the place for you. Old Glory is the ultimate destination to shop, offering over 300,000 items for music, sports, entertainment, and pop culture fans. This family-owned superstore has provided high-quality clothing and accessories since 1969, featuring the world's most iconic bands, sports teams, fan-favorite apparel, and quirky gifts, which means there's truly something for everyone. With free standard shipping and same-day order processing, Old Glory delivers fast and reliable service with every purchase. So whether you are shopping for yourself or looking for that perfect gift, Old Glory is your one-stop shop for iconic, high-quality merch, and our lucky listeners will receive an exclusive 15% off any product with the promo code CAFPOD. So head on over to oldglory.com to begin shopping their wide range of high-quality merchandise and get that exclusive discount. Again, that's Old Glory, OLDGLORY.com, promo code CAFPOD.
Here on Fully Booked and Caffeinated, we're constantly on the go, but sometimes we just need to unwind and relax with a good book. Enter Good Feels THC-infused seltzers. Good Feels is committed to redefining the way you relax. Made with all-natural ingredients and offering flavors like dragon fruit raz, pineapple mango, and blood orange, these drinks are the cornerstone of great taste and tranquility. Not in the mood for bubbles? Good Feels also offers gummies and mood booster drops to add to your favorite beverage. Whether you're looking to unwind after a long day, enjoy a night in with friends, or just need a little something to take the edge off, Good Feels Cannabis Seltzers are perfect for any occasion. And we've got an exclusive promo code for listeners of the pod. Go to shop.getgoodfeels.com and use promo code CAFPOD for 20% off, 21 and over only. Again, that's shop.getgoodfeels.com, promo code CAFFPOD. Try it out and let us know your favorite time to unwind with a Good Feels Cannabis Seltzer.
Hello and welcome to your favorite bookish podcast, Fully Booked and Caffeinated. I'm Heather.
And I'm Kelsey.
And today we are discussing the summer contemporary novel, The Hotel Nantucket by Elin Hilderbrand. Pretty sure she goes by Ellen. I meant to look that up. I was like, is it Ellen? Is it Elin? But I think it's Ellen. We're going to go with Ellen. And if that's not her name, it is now.
Let's see. I don't want any Elin Hilderbrand. Is it Hilderbrand or
Hilderbrand. There's two R's in there.
Okay. Let's look up the pronunciation because I feel like she might have some followers. You know what I mean? Oh, it's pronounced Ellen. It says, yo, Google AI is so stupid. Elin Hilderbrand's first name is pronounced Ellen, like Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, okay, good.
That's the only Ellen they could come up with.
Also, isn't she canceled? I thought she was canceled.
Everyone's canceled these days.
AI is also canceled, so I
Also
guess,
true.
you know.
Also true. All right, before we dive in, I mean, you were in Florida. Did you have any fun coffees in Florida?
I was in Florida, and, well, yes, I did have a good coffee because we're staying at my cousin's place, and she has a Keurig, and I was like, okay, like, whatever, I'll have my little hot coffee. And then I went outside for 0.2 seconds, and I was dripping in sweat, and I was like, if you come near me with that hot coffee, it's getting smacked out of your hand.
No, thank you.
So, on the way to the beach, we stopped at this place called the Magic Bus, which is actually an ice cream shop and a coffee shop.
I mean, two of my favorite things. Sign me up.
100%, but I was like, what are their hours? Like, they're open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Just like, I don't know. I walked in there, it smelled like straight ice cream, and I was like, oh, this is overwhelming. It's 9 in the morning. But anyway, she made me a delicious iced latte with brown sugar syrup. And I was like, the biggest size you got. And she's like, oh, of course. And it was only $8.
Love to see it.
Love to see this. So it was delicious, and it was from the Magic Bus. They had very cute merch, but I never went back. So, anywho, what about you? You did some events this weekend too.
I actually had two fun coffees this weekend. Friday, I took Millie. We went to Bagel Bar in Manalapan, which someone I actually follow on Instagram like randomly posted about it, and they had a Chips Ahoy latte. And I decided, I was like, you know what, Millie, we're going to go get bagels tomorrow. Because Millie is also on a bagel kick. She is New Jersey girl through and through. And so I got a Chips Ahoy latte, which was very good. It's actually, it looks like it was in collaboration with Offshore Coffee, which is like a pretty well-known, which I've had Offshore a couple times. But the cold foam that came on that was really good. And it was like a pre-made cold foam, and I kind of like those better, if I'm honest. So that was good. And then Sunday, on National Book Lovers Day, I went to Calgo Gardens because they were doing a little like book pop-up. The Bound for Adventures mobile truck was there, and they now have outside of Calgo that there's a coffee, like a mobile coffee shop that's just there now all the time. They have like hours there.
I love
and so
that.
That's it's the same one that was there.
Place?
Yeah, the Caffeinated Dragon. So they're
Cute.
there. They have hours like Wednesday through Sunday or something like that. And from there, I got the banana bread latte, and that was chef's kiss.
I wanted to try that. That was sold out when we were there last time.
And there was like banana pieces in there. Like I like sucked up a piece of banana. I was like, that was good.
Okay.
Give me more bananas in my coffee.
Love that.
Which is such a weird thing. I feel like you don't associate fruit with coffee, but it's becoming like this big thing.
Bananas and blueberries.
It's
They
crazy.
can be in my coffee. I don't understand it.
It's whatever. All delicious. So I mean, yeah, I had a good caffeinated weekend. No complaints.
I love that. Love that for us.
Yes. Anyways, cheers to all the coffee in the world. I need all of it. So Elin Hilderbrand, whatever, is a best-selling author of over 30 novels.
I believe that.
I do believe that. Most are based on Nantucket, and this earned her the title of Queen of the Beach Reads, which I also agree with, to be quite honest.
Wow.
She's also lived year-round on Nantucket for more than like 30 years. So I was reading a little bit in the back of the book, and she like visited there randomly when she was in college, and she like stayed for a good portion of the summer, and then like she came back to Manhattan and hated her life, and then like the next year like just took a chance and moved to Nantucket.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I was like, wish that was me, to be quite honest.
She took this chance. And then ended up becoming the Queen of Beach Reads based on her new home.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick. Okay, Ellen.
I know.
Okay, Ellen.
I know. Yeah. And, you know, she enjoys reading, traveling, going to the beach, cooking for her friends, just like us. Authors.
Relatable.
Just like us. Isn't that
Ellen,
crazy?
she's just like us. Not Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen
No.
Hilderbrand is just like us.
And I had no idea about this, which love this for her. She's also a 10-year breast cancer survivor.
Oh, that's awesome. Hell
Like,
yeah,
I'm
girl.
learning all these new things. 2 of her novels have been adapted for the screen. So the first one was The Perfect Couple, which that one came out on Netflix, I want to say like 2 years ago, maybe now. And that was a 6-episode limited series. It had Nicole Kidman in it, Liev Schreiber, I believe Dakota Fanning was in that one.
Yes, I watched that one.
I didn't watch that one yet, but
it was
heard
good.
good things.
Nicole Kidman's wig was horrible as usual, so it was good.
Nicole Kidman and her wigs. I feel like I could just do a whole series on that, to be quite honest.
100%.
Anyways, and then most recently, the 5-Star Weekend was recently adapted by Peacock, which starred Jennifer Garner, Regina Hall, and it became the most watched scripted series ever on Peacock. So they immediately were like, season 2? Yes, please. Which is like funny because there is no follow-up book. So but obviously, and I was listening to Chicks in the Office and they kind of said this, that it's a book/show based on a girls trip. You can very easily get like multiple seasons of like girls trips. So I think it'll be 100%. Fine. I had mentioned on Bookish Banter, I had watched half. I have not finished the series yet, but I'm not surprised it got picked up for a second season because the chemistry of the entire cast was like top notch in just the few episodes I watched. So
well, also you have to figure that because it's on Peacock and because there's so many other shows that are so popular on Peacock, like Love Island, Married at First Sight, all the Bravo stuff, like people are seeing the commercials for it all the time or seeing it pop up on their homepage. Yeah. So they're going to be more inclined to watch it seeing the casting.
Yeah, I agree. So, I mean, she's obviously doing fairly well for herself. She also co-wrote a book with her daughter recently. I think it was called The Academy or something along those lines. And I think there's going to be a second book in that as well, which was like interesting because, and I believe I had brought this up to you. I thought I saw that she was like no longer going to write books anymore. She had said like she was taking a break. and I'm like, oh, I mean, she knows now, like she's got to just keep, she's like the Frida McFadden of romance, but in a better way. Keep doing it, girl. And also she co-hosts a literary podcast called Books, Beach, and Beyond. Didn't know that.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to give that a listen.
I know. The one thing I wanted to mention was in like the Hotel Nantucket, there's this, the main character creates this like blue book, which has all the fun things to do in Nantucket. And when I got to because I had like the paperback copy of the Hotel Nantucket, and what was really cool, and I don't know if you saw this, but Ellen actually goes through and creates a blue book and lists all the places in Nantucket that she loves. Oh. And it's extensive. Like 15 pages worth. She talks about like restaurants, things to do when you're and have nothing to do, places to shop.
She's
and like
doing a lot for Nantucket tourism.
Yeah, and like I'm telling you, like this was like it was its own book within like the book. And I thought that was like a really cool nod to her town, and clearly it has brought her a lot of success.
Good for her.
I mean, has Nantucket given her a key to the city yet? Because if not, now is the time.
Now is the time.
Because even I think 5-Star Weekend takes place in Nantucket. I'm like 99% sure.
But the one that we read, remember the series that we read?
The Winter in Paradise series.
That was on an island. That was like,
oh gosh. What was the island? Because someone that we knew in book club at the time had like been there. Oh gosh. I can't remember either. St. Thomas or Thomas something.
Maybe St. Thomas. Could have been.
There's another name in there, but it's not relevant at all to this episode. So, to this book. Anyways, So you were not kidding when you said that Storygraph, Who's It For, has completely fallen off. I am so disappointed. I was so excited. Are you ready? It's terrible.
No. Okay.
Okay, Storygraph, Who's It For? A reader who loves immersive, character-driven stories set in idyllic vacation destinations. That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
I mean, it's true.
It is true, but where's all my fun?
Where's the spice? Where's the fluff? Where's the salad?
Where's all my adjectives? Like, I need so much more than this. I was like, oh, that's boring. Now is this gonna... We had this fun new part of our episodes, and I'm like, now Storygraph has gone and ruined it for us. Thanks.
Wow. There goes the best part of our show. Sorry,
Legitimately.
everybody.
Anyways.
Hope you're still listening.
Storygraph. I still love you. Bye. All right, so the book summary from Storygraph. Fresh off a bad breakup with a longtime boyfriend, Nantucket's sweetheart Lisbeth Keaton is desperately seeking a second act. When she's named the new general manager of the Hotel Nantucket, a once Gilded Age gem turned abandoned eyesore, she hopes that her local expertise and charismatic staff can win the favor of their new London billionaire owner Xavier Darling, as well as that of Shelley Carpenter, the wildly popular Instagram tastemaker who can help put them back on the map. And while the Hotel Nantucket appears to be a blissful paradise, complete with a celebrity chef-run restaurant and an idyllic, that's where Storygraph pulled that word from, wellness center, there's a lot of drama behind closed doors. The staff and guests have complicated pasts, and the hotel can't seem to overcome the bad reputation it earned in 1922 when a tragic fire killed 19-year-old chambermaid Grace Hadley. With Grace gleefully haunting the halls, a staff harboring all kinds of secrets, and Lisbeth's own romantic uncertainty, is the Hotel Nantucket destined for success or doom? Filled with the emotional depth and multiple points of view that characterize Hilderbrand's novels, as well as an added dash of roaring 20s history, the Hotel Nantucket offers something for everyone in this compelling summer drama. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. That was a long one.
Yeah. And I also don't know that I agree with it. That's fine. Anyways, before we dive into my very short summary, let's take an ad break.
Let's do it.
Here at Fully Booked and Caffeinated, Kelsey and I love a good strong coffee. But sometimes you just need a coffee to take the edge off and not keep you up all night, or maybe you're cutting back on your caffeine intake without sacrificing the flavor. Well, that's where Savorista Coffee comes in. Savorista Coffee offers premium craft decaf and half-calf blends that are small batch roasted for exceptional taste with ethically sourced beans, natural decaffeination, and bold flavors, such as the Colombian Inspiration Decaf with chocolate, caramel, citrus, and fruit notes, or the Barely Buzzed Half-Calf with dark chocolate, toasted marshmallows, and walnuts, which is directly going into my shopping cart. Our listeners can enjoy an exclusive discount of 25% off any product with our promo code CAFPOD. So head on over to Savorista.com and be sure to put in that promo code during checkout. Again, that's Savorista, Savorista.com, promo code CAFPOD, to try out what customers rave to be the best decaf coffee they've ever tried.
You know, here at Fully Booked and Caffeinated, we love coffee, but there are so many options to choose from in the coffee game. So how can you narrow it down? Well, allow us to help. Afuera Coffee is a company that sources their specialty beans from Central and South America, and the environment is quite literally in every bean. The volcanic soil infuses each coffee bean with vibrant and unique flavors. They have a flavor for everyone based on your personal tastes. Bold espresso for me, smooth light roast for Heather. And that's not all. The best part about Afuera Coffee is the ethical sourcing and sustainable farming practices they use to give you the best coffee while still protecting Mother Earth. And there's more. 5% of all sales are donated back to charities that provide conservation efforts to the great outdoors. If you don't believe me, go to their website, afueracoffee.com, and click on the 5% pledge tab. They have some great info on how much their pledge to charity has already impacted the environment. So check out Afuera Coffee if you're looking for great tasting, vibrant coffee, and you can rest assured knowing that you're contributing not only to your own happiness, but to the environment that we so desperately need to protect. This is an exclusive discount for listeners of our show. Use our promo code to get 15% off any product at afueracoffee.com. That's AFUERA coffee.com. Use promo code CAFFPOD, CAFFPOD. Again, that's afueracoffee.com, promo code CAFFPOD for 15% off sustainable and ethically sourced coffee.
You know when you have that midday crash and need something quick to perk you up? Well, enter Quantum Squares. Quantum Squares is an energy bar that is redefining the typical energy snacks by offering a scientifically formulated recipe with 100 milligrams of organic caffeine, which is the equivalent to an 8-ounce coffee, for long-lasting, stable energy. These bars deliver balanced nutrition by featuring 10 grams of plant protein, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates with flavors such as peanut butter, dark chocolate, and dark chocolate pink Himalayan salt. And for all our food ingredient sensitive listeners, Quantum Squares are certified gluten-free, non-GMO, plant-based, kosher, vegan, dairy-free, and soy-free, with no artificial additives or sugar alcohols. If these energy bars sound like something for you, we have an exclusive 25% discount off any product for our listeners with the promo code CAFFPOD. So head on over to quantumsquares.com to shop their delicious products and use our exclusive discount. Again, that's Quantum Squares, QUANTUMSQUARES.com, promo code CAFFPOD. All right, and we're back. So, one of the things that's like fun about her novels is that there's really no plot. It's just kind of funsies. So, I literally found this like very quick summary of the book and I was like, you know what? We're going to read it and then we're going to talk about stuff because it's just, there's not much substance.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's more I feel about the characters and their relationships.
Exactly. There's not really a story here because it's multiple stories. Mm-hmm. So it's just this gives you a quick rundown of what happened in this book, and then we'll get more into like the discussion of the characters. So I'm glad that you understand where I'm coming from.
Cool.
Wonderful. Okay, so finding herself heartbroken after catching her long-term boyfriend and work collaborator, J.J. O'Malley, exchanging sexually explicit messages with another employee, Lisbeth Keaton throws herself into the challenge of becoming general manager of the Hotel Nantucket. Xavier Darling, which this name was too much for me. Like, too much.
A little bit.
The distant British owner of the newly renovated hotel wants the hotel to earn an elusive 5-key rating from notoriously picky travel journalist Shelley Carpenter. However, this will prove difficult given that the hotel is haunted by Grace Hadley, a chambermaid who died in a 1922 fire that was started by the... It says... This is wrong. This is by the mistress of her lover. No, she is the mistress of the hotel owner. By the wife of the owner. Yeah. Which, when I got to the end of the book and she said, "Oh, I locked that bitch in," I was like,
damn,
I get
that was
you're
a little
mad.
dark.
I was like, I'm glad, I understand you're mad your husband cheated on you, but whose fault is it really? Is it the 19-year-old girl's fault who is obviously going to fall for the older man's antics because she's so young? Not really, no, but yeah. I guess go off. As the hotel opens, more challenges are afoot, as the hotel staff members are each plagued with secrets and private agendas. For example, charismatic Alessandra Powell visits the rooms of the hotel's male guests. That was a fun little twisty-turny. Looking for a replacement for Michael Bick, the wealthy married man she was with when she first came to the island. Alessandra was such a conniving, smart woman, and I wish she used those wits for other things.
Yeah. Like to expose men instead of
yes,
to feed her own interests.
Yeah. Then rich kid Chadwick Winslow, this was a good name. This was a good Nantucket rich boy name. I gotta hand it to her. Becomes a housekeeper in the hotel as self-inflicted penance for causing an accident that left his college friend Patty half blind. By the way, I was very disappointed with this reveal. I was anticipating some like big thing, fucked up things that he did.
I thought he was driving drunk, crashed his car, Patty lost his legs, like...
No,
I mean, it was horrific.
Oh, 100%.
Because of the other things that happened.
Yeah.
But the blinding was like, I feel like that could happen to me, and I'm not rich. Like, I could accidentally blind someone by popping champagne on accident.
Exactly. Meanwhile, summer-long guest Kimber Marsh causes mayhem when her daughter Wanda begins to investigate the ghost in the hotel. I also wouldn't call it mayhem. She gave the hotel its money. She gave the hotel its success.
She worked for the marketing team.
She basically was like, she is the future Nancy Drew of her generation. It was like the cat just knocked something down. Sorry. A staffer named Edie helps Wanda get an article published in the local paper, which boosts the hotel's fame. So I wouldn't call that mayhem. What I would call mayhem is her first time in the hotel, when she comes in with like her dog, and like she gets poor Edie to just be like, listen, I'm gonna stay here for the summer and pay in cash, and you gotta be chill with that. And Edie's like, sure, let me also upgrade you to a suite.
That was crazy. Also, did we ever find out why she had bricks and bricks of cash?
No, and that was like another thing that I realized about like her storyline, which ended up being a really fun one. I like where it went, to be quite honest. But there was like this, I was expecting her to have like some dark history, because like she comes in like kind of very clearly distraught, escaping from her life. And so I was waiting for that reveal too, as to like what was going on, and we just never really got it. And I don't know, her character specifically I felt was kind of all over the place, to be quite honest. Like I couldn't tell if she was crazy or if she was a really just, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a mistaken identity kind of thing. Like, no, people would look at her and think a certain way, but she's like actually the complete opposite.
Right. She's very misunderstood because of her
thank you.
Colored hair.
Yeah, exactly. So I was kind of like perplexed with where she was going, but regardless, I really liked her story, and like her whole family story. Like I love like little Louie would just play chess in the hotel, and all the guests, like he became a staple of the Hotel Nantucket. I'm like, he's coming back next summer, right? Like he's gonna be like in your lobby for free. Obviously his stay is just comped because he's gonna just play with all these people. Lisbeth begins a relationship with the hotel's restaurant star chef Mario Subacchio. Did you listen to it? What was his name? Subacchio? That sounds probably right.
That's closer.
Yeah. However, she finds that she still has trust issues left over from JJ's adultery. When she realizes that Mario is not two-timing her with the hotel wellness coach, Yolanda, which, by the way, I did think for a minute. I was like, oh, is Mario really just going to be, like, sleeping with multiple women at the hotel?
Okay, but when Yolanda ran up to him and kissed him on the lips, and then Lisbeth was like, I wonder if they're seeing each other. I wonder if I should be worried. Like, bitch, you just saw them kiss on the lips.
I know.
Ask a question.
And then she just never brings it up with Mario, and then just kind of like ghosts him a little bit, and he's like, I don't know what happened. And it's like, no one's questioning this. Like, neither of you are, like, because she was there obviously at the game. Mario sees her at the game.
Yeah, why didn't he say like, oh, you saw my gay friend Yolanda kiss me on the lips? Like,
yeah, because obviously us as the readers don't know Yolanda is gay until like she just shows up at a restaurant and Lisbeth sees her with Beatrice, the like sous chef. Anyways, after she realizes that Yolanda is into women, she allows herself to love him and fully start a new life. As the summer closes, Xavier Darling emerges on the scene, and the staff bends over backwards to please him. However, this was the plot twist of the century, when Magda, the head of housekeeping, and the woman he has been wooing for decades, rejects his marriage proposal, Xavier decides to sell the hotel to a corporate bidder. So basically, Xavier bought this hotel for Magda, who was, she worked under him on his cruise ship line. She was like the housekeeper on the cruise ships. Mm-hmm. And they had a night in Monte Carlo that changed their lives forever. And Xavier has been in love with her ever since.
Uh-huh.
Like, I knew...
Talk about, like, how men can't fucking handle rejection.
Legitimately. He's like, all right, well, now I'm gonna sell this hotel, because whatever. Which also, like, made me mad, actually, because he bought it for Magda, saw how much Magda loved it there, and then is like, well, if I can't have you, then I don't want this hotel then. So, like, that thought was interesting. And, like, obviously I knew that, because, like, Xavier tells Lisbeth he bought this hotel to, like, impress two women, and one is, like, Shelley Carpenter, and then the second, he just never tells her. And then obviously there's, like, little Easter eggs that lead us to know that it's Magda, but I wasn't expecting a, like, romantic relationship between them.
I thought it was gonna be something else. Like, this
Me
is like
too.
his... I didn't realize how old he was, first of all.
Same, and I think it's because his name is Xavier Darling.
And, like, even just because I listened to the audiobook, when even his emails were in, like, this British accent, so I just pictured him as, like, this young British hottie.
Yeah.
So at first I was like, is this, like, his mom or his, like...
I know.
His teacher, his old boss, like, something, because you knew from the beginning that it was her, because he sent her the flowers, like, on the very first day. But I didn't know it was going to be romantic either.
No, I don't know what I was expecting, but it definitely wasn't that. I was like, oh, I mean... And then they, like, have sex, and I'm like, you know what, more power to you. Show them the oldies still got it.
And loud sex.
Loud sex. So this devastating news arrives just when the hotel earns the 5-key accolade from Shelley Carpenter, who, in reality, was summer-long guest Kimber Marsh. And then I had to go back and think, and I'm like, but wait, she was living here with her children. When did she go to these other hotels? But then I recalled there was that one weekend where she tells Richie to stay in the room because she had to go to, like, New York to, like, deal with divorce lawyer stuff. So that must have been when she went to, I don't remember.
Whatever the other place was. And she only posted one review a month.
And she only goes, like, the last... It seems, I don't want to say it's like the last weekend, but
I think she posts the last weekend.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. And listen, they got me. I thought the FBI agent was Shelley Carpenter for a hot minute.
I did think it was probably a guy.
And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, is it this guy? And I was like, no, it can't be that easy. And then it turned out to be Kimber Marsh. I was like, oh yeah, I love this more, thank God. Mm-hmm. Rescue comes in the form of secretly wealthy Magda, because when she was in Monte Carlo, she hit it big and then invested that money with Xavier's bankers, which you put a lot of trust in this man that you only really just met. I understand that he's like your boss, kind of, but... And then she just becomes like a millionaire, like $25 million worth of money. And Chad's father, Paul Winslow, because little Chadwick finally stands up to his dad at the end of the movie, and he's like, I'm not coming to work with you at your whatever marketing group. He's like, I want to work in hospitality. And you know what? Paul Winslow was like, I will appease my son. So, like, he's not the best father, but he is.
Some might say horrible father, but
he sees what his son wants, and he's kind of finally, like, I would say him buying the hotel is kind of showing Chadwick that he's proud of him in a way.
Yeah, and
without saying it.
They did say several times, like, that actually his mom was the one who sucked, and his dad just, like, did what she said, basically.
Yeah.
So I guess he wasn't the worst. But it was also a way to be like, yeah, but look at what I can do with all this money.
Yeah.
To his son. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So they pool their millions together to buy the hotel from Xavier. But before the staff can celebrate, this was the part of the book that I disliked. They must reckon with 1922 owner Jackson Benedict's journal, which was one entry.
One entry.
that reveals that his wife Dahlia locked Grace in the attic, leading to her death in the fire. Grace feels at peace when this confession is revealed, but then decides to stay in the hotel because it feels like home to her, which like makes sense. Like I'm glad that she stays because that's where she belongs. Obviously,
it wouldn't be Hotel Nantucket without her.
Exactly, but just the fact that they like find this journal.
How do we even know that he wrote it? Like it sounds like Grace might have wrote it. I don't know.
I know. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I liked the reveal of the journal, and then when they say it was one entry, like that was it. I was like, oh, so it's not. He just wrote this down to, I guess, try to free himself of his guilt, hypothetically. Yeah. Who can say? So as I said, there's really no legitimate plot. It's kind of like multiple mini stories woven into just a story, like a complete novel, which like I like books like this from time to time because it is kind of fun when there's not just like one thing you have to focus on. I like when there's multiple stories that are happening, and I feel like for the most part they tied them up fairly well. Some of them were obviously predictable and kind of overdone storylines, but I didn't dislike that, to be honest. I think that it kind of all like meshed well together.
Yeah, and like she doesn't bury the lead with any of these stories. So like from the beginning, you know that Alessandra is pretending to be someone she's not, sketchy, blah blah. You know that like Chad is running away from something. Like she doesn't. The reveal is the story that happened, but she's not trying to like pull a fast one on the reader. You know what I mean?
No, and I feel like these characters that are supposed to be unlikable, you can't help but like them. Because like, I was rooting for Alessandra. I liked her. Same with Chadwick. You think he's going to be like this rich boy, you know, that's just going to do this job to make himself feel better, but then it ends up making actually him become a better person. You know, and even like Richie, the guy that was doing a lot of illegal business, I was like, I kind of like you, man. So it was just like a very good. JJ was the definite villain of the novel. The Lisbeth ex-boyfriend.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah, and like begging her to get back together with him. I'm like,
but he definitely. Well, he deserves what he got, but he didn't end up coming out on top. Like, you know that his restaurant is closing by next summer.
Yeah, and his new girlfriend leaves him, obviously, you know, so it just kind of... I will say, though, that was one of my favorite parts of the novel when Mario and Lisbeth go to the deck. And they literally only go just so that they can see them, and then they're like, all right, let's go.
And he immediately is like, okay, you want to leave now? And she's like,
Like, that was just, like... It was such an obvious power move, but...
At first, I was like, oh, this was, like, kind of corny. But then when he's leaving and he says, we're going to go somewhere with, like, better service or whatever, I was like, oh, damn. Yeah. That was a low blow, and I liked it.
I was like, oh, this is good. This was a nice little... And it's good, because then I think it kind of... You know, it makes Lisbeth come off as, like, this strong woman... Or showing Lisbeth the strong woman that she could have always been, because you definitely kind of get the feeling that I wouldn't say that she was settling for JJ, but they were very complacent in their life together.
They were very comfortable,
and there was no really room for growth, I would say. So when they separate, and then she kind of falls into this new persona, and she realizes all that she can do. You know, it's nice.
Like, she was obviously a part of the deck's success. Like, she was the reason that it was doing so well, but she still wasn't living up to her full potential. Even though she was doing a great thing, she didn't realize that, like, obviously being a hotel general manager is like a ridiculously big job, and she did so amazing. She never would have realized that for herself.
I know, and I actually really liked kind of getting the behind the scenes of a hotel and like the hospitality part of it, and seeing all the inner workings of everyone's, you know, roles in the hotel. And I'm like, I can only imagine what it must be like to work in a tourist town and have to like deal with people like that.
And then I was like, I'm not utilizing the services that hotels offer enough,
right?
Because what do you mean you'll make reservations for me?
Legitimately though, like this hotel sounds like a dream, and which was the whole point of Xavier when he purchased it. He wanted to turn it, basically take it from ruin and recreate it into like this beautiful space of hospitality where people can go. And it was obviously done successfully.
Yeah, and he focused so much on local everything, like even obviously like local alcohol and beer and all that stuff, local food, and then also like the throw blankets that were locally made, like the painter that was local,
the chandelier,
so like all this stuff that was local. And he's from the UK, like he has no stock over here whatsoever, but like he's a businessman and he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So the whole vibe of the Hotel Nantucket was, I thought, came across very well. Like, I wanted to be there. I wanted to be a guest of the hotel. And it's so interesting because obviously we have the character of Grace who's like haunting the hotel, but she's not really haunting it. She's just kind of like showing up in people's rooms and like playing your favorite song and like, you know, obviously this book was not meant to be spooky, but it was kind of like humorous seeing her take on a haunting.
Yeah, because she was also like, sometimes she's like, oh, I don't want to overdo it because I don't want to like mess with my brand or like mess with my image. It's like, you're either a ghost or you're not a ghost to the other people.
I know. And it was like a cute storyline of having Wanda be the one to like Nancy Drew it all and find out the story about Grace Hadley. And
Grace was so funny because like she had her crushes. She knew when people were bad, but she's like, oh, I love love, even though I know that like they're both hiding something. I just love love.
She's like, she knows that Richie's doing inappropriate things in the office with clientele information, and that Kimber Marsh is definitely up to something, but no one really knows, and nor will we ever know. You know, and it's just, and it's so interesting that the two of them end up having like this love affair because that came out of left field. But then I like end up loving it because then it was just, because I feel like Kimber's character does come across, especially with the hair, as like eccentric. And then you kind of have Richie, who's definitely a shady man, who, you know, it's like, I definitely have like a, if he's like the one character I was like iffy on, because it feels like he knew what he was doing, but he does come across as so like sweet with Kimber and everything, and I was like nervous that he was like taking advantage of her for like a hot minute, but then it turns out like he was like, because then he admits to her, he's like, I don't have a home. He's like, I've been lying to you. And I was like, okay, no, like he really actually does like care about her, and he's just kind of, he just ended up having a shitty divorce, and he kind of got, I don't want to say screwed out of his money because he probably deserved it, but you know what I mean. You know, and then he ended up just kind of doing bad things.
It's like, why is he not able to see his children at all?
Oh, I know.
And the only thing I did like was that when she kind of not confronted him, but was like, I want to come to your house, I want to see where you live, like we'll just pop in, whatever, instead of like giving her the runaround and like hiding things from her and putting distance between them, he just comes right out and says it, like, so we didn't have to go through that whole like, oh, he's making up excuses and she knows that he's lying and it's so awkward and
like
whatever.
He definitely was trying to do that, but like she just kept pushing the envelope, and he finally was like, listen, I'm poor. Like, I was living out of my car until you invited me to stay in the hotel with you. And he was like, and I didn't want to tell you that either because I didn't want you to think that I was like taking advantage of the situation and stuff. So like it was just obviously one of like the more interesting relationships of the book. And it was like kind of like funny because there were so many like little relationships throughout the book that were like very random, and it was almost kind of, you know, obviously she is like kind of like a romance author, so I can understand that since this book wasn't surrounding a specific couple or person, like it was multiple people, she just kind of like threw them all in there. But like I didn't hate it, you know, because like I knew that like I could see that there were so many things happening, but then I kind of was like, it's summer, this is what you do. You
Well,
know?
I also liked the different levels of relationship because I mean, you have the two couples that like fall in love when, you know, both of them are like all of them are coming out of bad relationships and bad circumstances, whatever. But then you have like Edie and Zeke, who had like their cute little flirtation, and they're just like flirting back and forth. And then you have the married couple who like don't get to spend enough time with each other. We never found out what happened with them either.
No.
Like whatever their past thing was.
Why they couldn't work together.
Yeah. So, but it was cute how like you had all these different levels. I was nervous because I know that she is a romance author, obviously. And I was like, oh, obviously we know that Lisbeth is going to fall in love with somebody. But it was much more like organic and sweet than I was expecting.
I know, like it kind of fell together nicely. And I also, I mean, like I had mentioned before, I didn't love like Alessandra's like character arc and her being like this kind of promiscuous con woman, which like, you know, granted, sure, like take men's money, all the more power to you. But, you know, I think I didn't like her sleeping with men at the hotel and be like, give me a review so that I can get, they don't know that she's going to get the $1,000 bonus like every week. And so like I kind of was a little turned off by that. But, you know, we do get that moment in the book where like she realizes that that was wrong and that Edie deserved some of that money.
Yeah. I think I didn't mind Alessandra like exploiting these men for money at the beginning, like these married men, but when she then went that extra mile and framed the next door neighbor, that's you're fucked up. Like you're, because now you're not only ruining this man's life and his marriage and his family, now you're ruining her friendship and another relationship. Because now that woman is now fighting with her husband because he thinks that she cheated.
I know.
Like, that was too much.
I think that Michael was probably one of the first men that she actually, like, grew real feelings for. And I think that's why she kind of went a little cray-cray. Yeah. And, like, went the extra mile. But it's, like, it's interesting, too, and it's kind of almost... Because her storyline is... She grew up in this atmosphere where she had a single mother who would bring men home and, like... You know, so she had multiple men running through her life, and she saw what her mom did, and she always, you know, I think it's so common, you know, she's like, I'm not going to be my mom, and then she kind of does it, which obviously I didn't love that it was like her best friend's dad, and like she was 18 and he was, and then she kind of comes to the realization when she's older that she's like, wow, he took advantage of me actually. You know, he preyed on me, and like that wasn't right, but that was unfortunately the turning point in her life that caused her to go down the same road as her mom. You know, and
and it's sad because she has this attitude, and I mean it's good that she like distances herself from Edie in the beginning, but she has this mindset of like, I'm a horrible person, like people shouldn't get close to me. I know that what I'm doing is like conniving and fucked up, and I don't have like a good character from all of that. But then when she does have an opportunity to help Edie,
I loved that was one of my favorite moments of the book as well, when because Edie's getting exploited from an ex-boyfriend because which again, like I hated this. I mean, it's because again, it's such a commonality with like men and women when it comes to, she was in a very happy relationship with her college boyfriend, and then she ended up being more successful than him, and then he got distant about it and became an asshole because he doesn't want his girlfriend to be superior to him, and so he starts asking for all these weird sexual things, and he wants to record it, and she's like, well, I should do it because I feel bad that he, you know, that I got a better position than him or whatever it was, and so she just gives in to that. And he took full-blown advantage of it. And then when she tries to leave him, he's like, well, I'm going to send all these videos to, like, your mom, to your future employers, yada, yada, yada. And then just, men are just disgusting.
All because she was more successful than him. And not like career successful. Like, these are kids straight out of college. And she just, like, did better at a single job than he did.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Like, but the masculinity is so fragile.
I know, and it's I feel like that is such a thing that like actually happens commonly, and I hate it. I hate it so much. But realistically, I would love to like see a book about like just Alessandra in general. Like I would totally read a spin-off about her. Because like I liked her character. It was like an interesting storyline, and I like that towards the end of the book she kind of comes to terms with the life that she was leading wasn't really as beneficial as she thought it was. And so she's looking to change.
And she also got humbled because she was like, oh, I'll seduce Xavier and then I'll be set for the rest.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And he was like, you can go now.
Although another moment in the book with her character specifically, I love when Grace intervenes when she's about to get like sexually abused. Yeah. Like in the room, and she like kicks his ass. I was like, and then Grace is even like, I don't want to help her because I know like what she's doing, but obviously I'm a woman and I don't want to see women being preyed on.
And then that really gives Alessandra a reality check of being like, oh, I can't do this forever, and I could be in a dangerous situation.
Not all men are like, you know, looking to escape in the way that the other men are. Like he's someone that's like very much feels superior to women, and that she's, you know, she bought the most expensive wine on the list, so like she obviously has to have sex with him now. Gross. Hate it. Hate everything about it. But I do think my favorite character in the book though was Magda. I just love a head bitch in control. I really do. I love an HBIC, and that was her. The way that she just ran her department of housekeepers, and like giving Chad a chance, who's very clearly this guy that comes in who has no idea what he's doing and is very clearly wealthy, and she doesn't even like ask any questions about why he's doing this. She like thinks she's being pranked. Isn't like what she says. She's like, this is definitely like a prank, and then it turns out he ends up being like her best worker. And then, you know, I think that in return was even like good for like Chad's character development, because he gets to, this is like his humbling experience, you know, because like he kind of gets to live life on like the other side. And like granted, he's doing it for a weird reason, you know, like you blinded your friend. Yes, that sucks. But I think that you're doing this penance for something, like what you're doing is a little too, it's not as severe as like you think it is. Like, yeah, you fucked up, but like you're kind of,
yeah, I think,
you know,
he wanted consequences. Like he wanted his parents to not pretend like nothing was wrong.
Yeah, because they were just like putting it under the rug, throwing money at whatever they needed to, so that people didn't talk about it. Oh yeah, because like he like, it's his like house catches on fire, and then like their like 12-year-old dog dies, and I'm like, that was more devastating than Patty losing an eye.
Yeah, and he wants them to say, okay, now you have to pay us back, now you have to work for that money, now you're grounded or whatever, and they won't do it, and he keeps being like, can someone just like give me a hard time and agree with me that what I did was wrong?
Yeah,
besides just Patty.
Which I do appreciate about like his character, is that he wants to be held accountable, and like no one is holding him accountable realistically, because he comes from such wealth. And I think for him that's almost like an eye-opener of what wealth can do for you. You know? Yeah, and I mean obviously he is coming at it from a very privileged standpoint, and like you don't actually want consequences because you don't even know what real consequences are. Exactly. But he needs something to alleviate his guilt, because like he knows his sister's never gonna forgive him, never even gonna talk to him again, and he's like, the guilt that he feels over losing a dog who he looked at like an extra sibling. Yeah. And he's like, and everyone is just gonna pretend like this is fine except for my sister. Yeah, I know. And I hated the delivery, like, of how, like, he learns about the dog. His, like, friend is like, yo, like, hate to tell you this, but your dog died. And it's like, what do you mean? I was like, please no, not Lulu. Yeah, and, like, one of my absolute worst fears in the entire world is, like, fire and something happening to my dog because of a fire. Same with the cats. Yeah. So I was like,
Triggered. I was like, okay, let's just move past this part because I can't do it.
Yeah, luckily it was very, like, quick, and it wasn't anything that was, like, brought up over and over again. It was very much just kind of like a one-time thing. But still crazy. Okay. The novel revolves around the concept of second chances and new beginnings. Which characters experience significant personal growth throughout the story, and how do their journeys impact the overall narrative? And it's so, like, interesting, too, because I feel like they all had such significant personal growth from, like, who they were at the very beginning of the book to who they are at the end. Like, yeah. You know, clearly, like, we just talked about, like, Alessandra and her kind of being super conniving for her own gain, and her, like, coming to terms with the way that she is doing that isn't, like, what's best for her. And I really love how she finally kind of gives in to wanting to be friends with Edie. Like, I thought that was, like, a really nice moment, because clearly Alessandra is very much closed off to any kind of, like, female friendships, and that's why she's so cold towards Edie and kind of, like, gives her, like, the cold shoulder and doesn't really try to assist her in any way, because she doesn't even want to open that door a crack to kind of, like, give Edie an in. But Edie's also, like, so persistent, and she's just like, you will like me, you know. And so it's fun that the whole reason why they kind of come together is so that Alessandra can, like, kick a little boy's ass. So I love that.
Yeah, I agree.
And even, like, Lisbeth's character, I thought she was likable throughout the entire book. And obviously it was a little annoying about, like, the whole Mario thing when she thought that he was, like, dating other women, and it's kind of like, you're so much more than a man. Like, don't let a man, like you just got out of a, like, 11-year or whatever it was, 15-year relationship with someone that was kind of not necessarily holding you back, but kind of was, and, you know, you let that relationship take over your entire life. You just ended that within the past year. You should allow yourself to be alone. And she kind of comes, like, recognizes that too, and that she doesn't really want to jump into anything right now because she just got such a long term. So it was kind of frustrating about her character that she got so affected so quickly by Mario. But I'm glad that, like, once she found out that, like, he actually does love her and, like, wants to be with her, that she was able to kind of turn that around. But again, it just sucks that was...
Yeah, it was annoying that she couldn't just communicate with him, because it's like, she had absolutely nothing to lose. Like, you're not trying to get into another relationship. You're not trying to, like, fall in love with this man. Just fucking ask him. Like,
yeah.
Instead of ghosting him and then just being sad and missing him the whole time. And she kept being like, oh, I kept waiting for him to text me. Like, no, bitch, you told him not to text you. He's not going to text you.
I know, like, he was actually, like, respecting her wishes.
But then, like, I liked that before all of that, she had this internal transformation where she decided to, like, focus on her health and focus on her image and her, you know, like, she wanted to, like, get healthy. She lost weight. She was so complacent in just, like, oh, yeah, I would have 8 glasses of rosé a day. And, like, obviously, that wasn't good for her. No. Obviously, that wasn't something that was serving her.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the relationship ending was what the best thing for her, like, in the end. And then she ends up finding, the nicest way possible, a man. Because, like, I feel like JJ, and I feel like they even said this in the book, that he kind of just had, like, this, like, not, like, kind of like an immature mentality. Like, he never really grew up. He just kind of has been doing what he's been doing and has been fine with that.
Yeah, where, like, she did acknowledge that he was a really good boyfriend in a lot of ways. Like, he would remember little things about her. He would do everything that, you know, they were so comfortable together because they've been together for so long. He'd buy her flowers. He'd, like, do all of these great things. But at the end of the day, she's like, what he did broke my trust. So there's no way that I could ever forget it. Like, even if I list out how the positives were so much more than the negatives, I'm never going to be able to have that same relationship again.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And it's just, I don't know, I feel like the little just like the little things that like she puts into the novel itself. You know, like I think one of my favorite parts too of the book was Mario, without even knowing Lisbeth well, just like names a drink after her.
Mm-hmm.
And then you like learn at the end of the book that he actually did know who she was, and that was like another fun like little plot twist that he's actually been like, oh, I kind of developed a crush on you when I like Googled you before I even met you.
He was so like, he was very confident, but he was also humble in so many ways, because like the fact that JJ literally had his picture like hanging up in his office, and still it was framed like he just cooks because he loves to cook, and like he was still so like downing himself when Xavier was coming, and when they were you know, waiting for Shelley Carpenter or whatever. Like he still, despite how famous and how well he's done and all this stuff, like he still doubts himself, he still gets imposter syndrome, like he still is a person at the end of the day.
I do want to talk briefly about like the Shelley Carpenter storyline. What did you think about that? Did you like that? And did you like even getting those like little reviews throughout the book?
I really liked the reviews that were put in. The only reason I didn't like it is because like it was so obvious that they were going to get the 5 keys.
Obviously. Yeah.
And I hated that part, because I'm just like, okay, we get it. They're going to be the first 5 key ever and blah, blah, blah. It's going to be so great. But I did like the reviews set in there, and I liked that it was kind of like this thing weaved throughout the whole story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everyone is always talking about it. Everyone is always worrying about it. But life was still going on.
Yeah, and I liked that there was like a copycat that was
and I was like crazy.
I was like, that's smart. You know, and then like her whole thing was like at the end, like calling hotels and being like, I left this very expensive thing there, and so the hotel either like reimburses her or like buys or like sends her another one. I'm like, that's crazy work. But again, it's just, gosh, women know how to con, and I love it. When it serves you well, and you know, like, yeah, you should do it.
Yeah, the fact that she was like lying about the belt, but it just so happened that Chad had that belt.
I know.
And he's like, wow, so I guess like that other girl was never stealing anything anyway. And then and then Grace sees her wearing the scarf that she clearly stole, and it's
yeah. I know. I was like a little nervous that like she did take the Gucci belt, because she very obviously took the scarf at the, you know, at the beginning point of the book. And so I was like a little nervous, especially, and I was nervous because obviously I hadn't yet, like I had fallen in the trap that maybe had been like Shelley Carpenter that had come to the hotel. Very clearly it wasn't. It was too early on in the book, and it would have like, you know, it was very, very much a red herring, you know, but I was like nervous about it, because I'm like, can you like imagine like if that actually happened though, like you were trying to, you know, impress someone that was coming to your hotel, and then you just have like staff stealing. Like it's not a good look.
Yeah, and then I got worried that Chad was going to get fired because the other girl wouldn't own up to it, so then they just both would have had to be let go. And I don't know, I was like, I would be really pissed if Chad got fired.
Me too.
He's doing his best, and he's a good employee.
He's a good employee. They're all just good. I just love them all. Like, I was pleasantly surprised, like, with how much, like, because, like, I was a little nervous about it going into it, because there was, like, I knew that there was going to be, like, this haunting aspect, and I didn't know how it was going to play into the book, but the way that it was done was actually fun. And so, like, I really enjoyed how, like, Grace's character was introduced and continued.
Yeah, I liked it, too, because it was, I mean, it felt so unnecessary.
Yeah.
But it wasn't over the top. It wasn't like its whole storyline. It was really just like a side character like all the other side characters.
Yeah, like she was the Hotel Nantucket almost. Like she was almost like the spokesperson for Hotel Nantucket, which like we talk about all the time, how like buildings or
places or
are big characters in books, and it's so true. And so this is kind of a way for the hotel to be spoken for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was a fun ride. A fun little beach escape. It was definitely a good beach read, like 100%.
Great beach read. Yeah, I agree with that.
Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about that I didn't hit?
I think we got it all.
Got it all? All right, so our rating system is out of Heartbreakers, because that drink sounded so good. Like, she literally had like an orgasm.
Sounded so good.
All of it just sounded like...
All of it.
Mm-hmm. And I love when food is orgasmic. There's nothing like it.
Mm-hmm. All of it sounded so good.
It did. So what was your rating?
I'm rating this 4 Heartbreakers. Because I really did like it. I thought it was a great beach read. I was a little nervous going into it because I couldn't... Because I know that Elin Hilderbrand loves a cheating storyline.
That was what I meant to bring up too, because like I was waiting for it, and it was only that small part of like JJ.
Well, yeah, but then Kimber's husband cheated.
Oh, that's right, with the nanny. Oh, that's right. And then okay, like it was. She does love like a cheating trope, but I love that I was happy that
and Alessandra's the cheater.
I liked that it wasn't a full blown storyline though. Like it was just kind of like interspersed.
Yeah, I mean, I was still like, do we have to have 5 different cheating storylines? Like that's a little much for me. And I hate a cheating storyline. It's my least favorite thing in a romance. So
agreed.
But then the way it was framed, I was like, okay, it still was too much, but it wasn't the whole thing, and it wasn't like, oh, I'm supposed to root for the person who's cheating. Like JJ was never the person you were rooting for, so I was happy about that. I thought there was so many. She brought a lot of it together, but there was still a lot of unanswered questions and like loose ends and stuff. And then it just felt a little too perfect at the end.
Yeah.
You know? As a romance is wont to do.
Yeah, it definitely had like a picture perfect ending for sure. But I agree. I also gave it 4 out of 5 Heartbreakers because like I enjoyed it. Like this was one of those novels that I wasn't rating with like a really tough eye because like we had said, there's not really a big plot. It's just kind of a bunch of like little stories woven in together, which I also thought was like very well done, and it kept me interested, to be honest. I liked getting all the different point of views. I thought that was really fun, and I also enjoyed. So I know that you didn't read the actual book, but it was really fun how it was formatted because there was never a page break for a chapter. They just all flowed. So like when a new chapter started, it would be in the middle of that same page that you're reading the book on, and then it would just jump into like a new. So like I have to say, reading it, like the physical book, was really fun, and I liked how different that was. That it wasn't your traditional chapter book. Like yes, it had chapters, but they just kind of all ran together. So, and I liked that a lot of the different POVs were quick. Like, you know, I love a quick POV. So it was just very fun all around. And
yeah, I think you bring up a good point that I didn't really like think about, but is so true, that I wasn't ready to be hard on this book because I knew it was a beach read. I knew it was a kind of like,
you know, and that was
going to be
like,
fun.
Yeah, it's what like as I was reading and I thought about it too, I was like, oh, like we have to talk about this book, and I was like, but there's not really much substance. I'm like, but I think that's the point.
Definitely.
This is just one of those books that you read to like literally escape from everything else, and it just takes you to Nantucket for a little while, and you get to be in these fictional lives, you know, and in a very real town, and then you get a very real blue book at the end of your book, which I think is just such a really cool nod from her to the town, and really just showing how much this place means to her. Like, I feel like that's what you want. That's such like a niche thing in life, is to just really love where you live to the point that it's almost like your pride and joy. Yeah. Like it's not something that's tangentially yours, but like it belongs to you in your own way. And it was I just really liked it. I was
Yeah.
pleasantly surprised because I agree. I mean, I know there, yes, now that the more we talk about, okay, there definitely was cheating in this book. It was just like little, but I was happy that it wasn't, because I've read like the Winter in Paradise series. I also read her other book, 28 Summers, which was like a big cheating book, like badly. And then I haven't read the 5-Star Weekend, but I'm watching the show and there's a big ass cheating trope in that. And I'm just kind of like, wow, she just really loves cheating.
Like, Ellen, who did this to you?
I know, like,
who hurt you?
Or like, who hurt your friends? Like, I don't know, man. But I was happy that it wasn't the whole. It didn't take center space that I feel like it does in her other stuff. So I was like, thank the Lord.
Yeah,
but
I agree with that.
I don't know. I'm happy. I was happy with it.
Me too.
I will still read her stuff. This one, like, I was a little nervous because, like, I wasn't sure, but I, like, this kind of, like, was like, okay, no, like, she can write, like, fun things that are a little bit more enjoyable.
Yeah, I agree. I liked it.
Yeah. All right, Ellen, you came back around. Sometimes I give up on authors, but you know what? I'm not giving up on you quite yet.
We'll allow it, Ellen.
Although maybe I have to, like, read the 5-Star Weekend now since the show, like, was so successful.
Yeah, probably.
But I don't know.
And I have 2 of her books that I haven't read.
I have a couple too. I think I have like Swan Song.
I have like Golden something.
Yes, I don't have that one, but I've heard that one I think is fairly popular. But there's like another one. I do want to read the book she wrote with her daughter though.
Yeah,
because I've seen good things about it. Like, especially around the time that it came out. And I also think it was a Book of the Month choice last year when it was released.
Okay, yeah.
So if there's going to be a second one... Well, yeah, because she's always on Book of the Month. So I'm going to assume that if the sequel or whatever the second book is will probably be, when it's released, will also be on Book of the Month. So we shall see. All right. Well, fun. This was a nice little reprieve. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like we've been reading so much crazy stuff. This was like a nice little palate cleanser in between everything.
And later this month, don't worry, it'll get dark again.
Oh, it's going to continue to get dark.
My book pick is very dark.
We'll be back. We'll be back to the dark side, as always. Well, that's all we have for you today. If you like what you heard, please make sure to follow, subscribe, and rate and review the podcast on whatever platform you listen to us on. We are also now fully available on YouTube, so you can see our lovely faces whenever you feel like. If you have any book recommendations or questions for us, you can email us at fullybookedcafpod@gmail.com. Also be sure to follow us on TikTok and Instagram at fullybookedcafpod to see our upcoming reads. Thanks for checking us out, and remember,
if you need us, we're fully booked. Bye.
Bye.